what is going to get jurors into a place where they are going to willingly want to participate in the decision-making process? Well, I'm going to suggest that that's presence. That's presence. So let's talk about what we mean by presence. So presence is your nonverbal persona. It's how you show up nonverbally in life. Therefore, everyone has presence. The question is it the presence that you want? And at different times in our lives, we may want a different kind of presence. Here, we're talking about a safe leadership presence. That's what we're going after here. And so we need to learn how to communicate that non-verbally. You know, to talk about why this is so important, or how it helps, how presence helps, think about recently, unfortunately, how many school shootings there have been. And if you watch some of the aftermath on the news, which is always terrible, but when this first started happening, it doesn't, surprise me anymore. But when it first started happening, you'd see all the kids running out like this, or with their hands behind their head, or this kind of thing, right? And I thought, why are they making the students run out with their hands over their head? I mean, they haven't done anything wrong. And then some commentator was saying, the reason why they do that is because they haven't identified the shooter yet, and the shooter may be acting like a student until they can get everybody, put in where they need to go. They have everybody come out that way. And I thought, this is the same thing that's happening in court. When we take those hostages and we bring them into court and we sit them down, they are the same thing. They don't know who anybody is, who's running the show, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. And so our job is to non-verbally communicate, you're safe, I'm not gonna hurt you, and I'm gonna get you through this. Now, you can say to someone, you're safe, and they're looking at you because they don't know you, and they go, who the hell are you? Right? But if you non-verbally communicate safety, that's a whole different thing. And the same thing goes with leadership. So when we bring them into that courtroom, they don't know what's going on, and it's our job to communicate what's going on. And I don't mean content. Look, I work a lot on content now. So I do a lot with voir dire, a lot with opening, a little bit more than Rick thinks I should be doing, but I do a lot with content, and I think content is really important. You have to have an excellent message, but you also have two other things that complete that. There's three parts to any good message. The first is content. And this is where most attorneys live. They're like, my content, my opening, my voir dire, all that has to be really good. And it does. But you also have to deliver it in a way. So delivery is the second piece that engages your listeners. You guys have to be so good at delivery more than most people because of your hostile audience. So that delivery piece is huge, and yet we don't spend a lot or enough time on it. And then reception. How's your message being received? Is it being received? And what do you do if it's not? So we really want to focus on all three parts. But as attorneys, we tend to only focus on the content part, maybe a little bit of the delivery. We're going to look at all three tonight. Not so much content. We've done a lot of that in the last 48 hours.